Okay. Okay, guys. So, how was the weekend? How do you feel with this course? I think that for some of for you it was nice. For some others, maybe a little bit hard to receive them. Yeah, I know. I know. I know, and I think that we have a lot to improve. Okay. So I was thinking some ways to improve our our scores, because I think that the mistakes that like some of you committed last in this week one scorecard were similar to some other mistakes that other mentors, or the same reason that other mentors got oranges last semester. So we are like turning to get those oranges, committing the same mistakes. Okay, so I think that we need to. I would like to clarify some things, because they are like just little things that we are not paying attention. Okay, so it is not um, like the huge issue that we had at the beginning. But for example, some of them are okay, self-evaluation. When you send the self-evaluation, if you think that you need to mark no to any of the responses, like you contacted everyone, or you, check the tickets or like those, if you will mark no, first I need to know that, because sometimes you are, I mean, not to lie, this is not the idea, okay? But I need to know why, because sometimes some of you mark no because I know, let's say that the students were changed during the week in your roster. So you were not contacted because you received new students on Friday. So you're not able to contact everyone because you just received them. And it is not a reason to mark no, because it is okay, we can comprehend. Yeah,
Understandable.
understandable. Um, that you received them late in the week. So for this reason, you did not contact everyone. Okay. And it's not needed to mark no, because it's impossible to contact them. Okay. And we can understand. The thing is that if the whole week you had the same students and you did not contact them. Okay. So this is a different situation. But any other situation that you think that you need to mark no, please, I need to know this first, because I need to know if it is accurate to mark no or not. Okay. And as I said before, it's not the idea to lie, but I need to make sure that we are choosing the correct option. Okay. Okay. Something else. We got oranges because inaccuracy giving or like telling the students to apply to Evergy grant after the deadline. And there is like there was a specific situation with a mentor saying the mentor that the student saying the student that he or she would apply to the Evergy grant, but it was after the deadline. So the mentor, the evaluator say you were wrong because the student is not able to apply now, okay, because the deadline already passed. The mentor, when she was talking to the student, she assumed that the student already know about the deadline. Okay, and probably the student know. Probably the student knew about the deadline. The thing is that the evaluator doesn't know the whole background. So for this reason, she's saying, okay, you were not accurate because you didn't say the deadline or whatever. So when you are talking to students, please make sure that if you say, okay, you can apply to the Evergy grant after the deadline, but the deadline passed and it will be applied for next semester. Okay, so give the whole information to the student. Why? Because maybe the student then say, okay, I already apply and it is not reflected on my tuition. And the student is right because you didn't say the deadline has passed or you need to wait until the next semester or whatever. So for this reason, give like the whole um, like the whole background to the student and all the information. The same with MBS, or the same with registration dates, or I don't know, other things that needs like a deadline. Okay. So if we are past deadline, also don't guarantee the student that they will succeed doing X thing. I don't know, like registering, or re-enrolling a course, or retaking a course. If it is after the deadline, don't guarantee like success on doing this. Okay, like the ticket will be resolved, or whatever. Um, Make sure that they understand this. Also, some KVs, some OD KVs were attached for PC students. Even though the information could be similar or could be the same, make sure to attach um the like the correspond the right the right program. Okay, KV. So if it is OD, if it is PC. If you don't find any KB, let's say that you are like having a KB for OD, but you need to give a response for PC student. Okay, let's say that there is not a PC KB. In that case, let me know. Okay, I can try to find something, or if not, we can or I can ask to the evaluator team if it is possible to do this, or if I don't know, if we can put a note or something explaining that there is not a KB for PC students. So for this reason, you're attaching an OD or something like that. Okay, Nicola?
I think Raquel was first. Sorry.
Okay, Raquel?
Okay, so this happened to me, and one thing that I have to say is that the student is OD, not PC. So this is wrong.
Don't worry.
And
I'm not talking about who
uh,
is wrong or not. I just
no, but I'm just but I understand everything that you're saying, and it is something that we mentioned in the previous semester. We were talking about, I remember in one of our first meetings, we were talking about how the evaluator can see a question differently from what we can see. So I remember this, that we must read like the evaluator would read it, and not as what we would read it as.
mhm. Yeah,
It is a tip because when I was documenting and answering, I didn't think, oh, she or he may think that or this, and it's different from what I'm thinking. And
exactly.
it is
Exactly.
important to think like them.
Thank you, Raquel. Yes, you need to understand that just you know the whole background, and not other people. Okay, so you need to make this like activity or documentation clear, so anyone could understand it. Okay, Nicola?
Sometimes I feel that the work is too mechanical, you see, and it gives us uh, not space to work in revelations. For example, I'm talking to the student, and the student's telling me a big problem. I can't continue because this and this, and then I say I'm going to understand. I'm not going to convince the student to stay if I know the student can't stay. And sometimes I feel that like if I doing this directly, yeah, but I understand you can't stay. I'm pregnant, I'm sick, and I can't stay right now. I have to drop the course. And then I go and say, okay, I understand, and I'm going to help the students to drop the course. And then the evaluator is going to look and say, hey, you didn't try to convince the student to stay. But are you crazy? Can't you see that the student can't stay in the course? It's so sometimes I think like it's kind of hard to cope with this because we don't have the space to feel and to act according to the prompts we receive to each student. Another point is sometimes I know how to solve the student's problem. It happened to me, and the evaluator told me I didn't cite KB, for example. I didn't read the KB because I know the information. Why should I cite the KB if I didn't read the KB? So sometimes there are some picky things that makes us feel like, all right, I got very frustrated, but I know I committed some mistakes to get the orange. I wasn't uh, good enough, all right. But there are some picky things. Sometimes you feel it's not the right way it should be, but whatever.
Thank you, Nicola. I want to correct in something. You said you were not good enough. You are good enough. You did not things good enough. So the thing, like the behavior, the procedure is incorrect. You are good. You're still good. Okay. So maybe the procedure is the difference. Okay. And something regarding this about like this that you say about, I know, the student wants to drop. You can, it's okay. You should not convince a student to stay. And this is something that is not evaluated because the evaluator could not give you like a red or orange because you did not convince the student. Okay, so don't worry about that. If you say to the student, okay, I completely understand, it's okay if you drop, the evaluator could not say, okay, you are orange because it is not part of the scorecard. Okay, the evaluator maybe could give you, I know, yellow because you did not ask enough questions or because you, I know, did not set the next step. Okay, but not about this. If you feel that the student or if you are like trying to encourage the student or you did not encourage the student because you already know the situation, it is not a reason to give you a bad score. Okay, if you fulfill like all the procedures, that's fine. That's fine. So if you have, I know, fun in this interaction, saying the student, okay, it's okay to drop, but you apply fun, that's okay. Don't worry. I mean, you can like set the next step, saying the student, okay, you can withdraw in this way. It's the next step. So you're applying fun. Or you're asking, okay, why do you want to drop? Because I'm pregnant, because I lost my job or whatever. You're applying fun. So you maybe you can get blue even not convincing the student to stay. Okay, because you apply the procedure. Obviously, I encourage you to try to help the students to continue. Okay, but don't think it is a reason to like to downgrade you. Okay, and I don't remember the second part that you say. Okay. Regarding like knowing the KBs, I know, and sometimes we usually know the response, but it's a requirement of the job, so we need to do it because they want us to do this. So if they say, okay, I need the KB attached, so we need to attach the KB. Okay, even though you know the answer because you just give the answer to another student 15 minutes ago.
It's a
It's,
procedure. I know. I
yeah,
know.
exactly. Carlos?
Um, I wanna make sure about two things. The first one, it is we're talking about the KBs. When we are helping some PC student, we can just add in the documentation PC KBs, right? We cannot add OD KBs to that as well.
Correct.
Is that
Correct.
correct? Okay. Okay, and the second one, it's about the tickets. For example, let's say that I spoke with a student and I had to create some ticket for that person, but let's say it, well, it was because of me, I forgot some documentation or explain it better when I created a ticket, so I had to do it again. But my question it is, when you create a ticket, it must have some relation with the conversation while talking about documentation as well. That thing is going to check the evaluator as well.
No, the evaluator doesn't check tickets.
All
No,
right.
but the team who works on ticket could review the documentation to understand better the situation. Okay, but
Okay.
you will not be
Okay.
evaluated because tickets. So evaluator
All
going
right.
to focus on the conversation, but you need to have like the conversation documented because if degree planner team or advising team needs to check something in the student profile.
All right. But for example, let's say that well, talking about the order of documentation, let's say that yesterday I did create a ticket and today I will complete the documentation. It's not going to be a mismatch with that.
Um, I don't think so. I don't think so.
All
I
right.
don't know if they usually they don't work in tickets in 24 hours. But you need to document within 24 hours if possible. Okay, so
Yes.
24 48 hours, as just in case that the advising or whatever which whoever is working in the ticket need to check the documentation.
All right, because I had a different system, it was like I marked the students that I am talking to, and after at the end, I used to document everything. But since you told us last meeting, but until which day precisely can we do the documentation? So we don't have the callings and stuff like that. So it's Wednesday if I am not wrong, right?
No,
Or how was
no, no, and we will talk about this later in the
it?
meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Lucas.
So it's just a concern that I have. Um, so I've seen a lot of students, they are kind of mad with like the program, because some issues that they have, they are not being solved. And I have this own experience that if I was not a mentor, I would probably destroy Nicholas like in the CSAT. Because, for example, he's doing a great job. He's helping me a lot. He's opened the ticket that I asked for advising because I had an error that I was not able um, to register for block 2 classes. And this is the same problem that a student of mine have. And Nicholas, he opened a ticket for me, but they never contact me. So I think sometimes like we as mentor, we need to contact them within 24 hours. We have to do all these things. But like the other departments, they don't do that. They cancel the ticket. Nicholas had to open another one and they didn't even contact me. So because I'm new to the BYU Pathway program now, I was served by BYU Idaho. So I can understand like why sometimes my students they are frustrated now. Um, so is there a place where we can maybe because sometimes tickets they don't solve the issue. So what should we do in this case? Like as I told you last week, I had a problem with this student that in the Kibi article told us to send them to the Microsoft Pathway error, and they simply didn't solve the issue, and we had to um, I had to create a ticket. It was not solved yet, and it's been like 1 week or more. And the student still don't have the Microsoft product available to her to do the assignments. And the week is going, it's like only 7 weeks. They don't have this a lot of time. So, what should we do in this case? Just try and keep
Well,
them waiting? And is there a place where we can maybe
in
just
your
complain or the students?
in your case, I suggest to open the CSAT survey and give 0 to Nicola. No, just kidding. Well, it's hard and it's true what you say. It's true. You know the situation because you're a mentor, but uh the students don't know this. So the thing is that we don't have like a place to complain, sadly. And if the student enters to the chatbot and and put a concern there, it also comes to mentoring, so I can see the concern. So it's like a loop. Okay, the thing is that you can like reopen tickets. So if your ticket was closed with no solution, you can say like I'm not satisfied or something like that. It's in the bottom of the email, and you can like click there and the ticket is reopened. And in that place, neither me, neither the mentor knows about it, just advising or support. And they should contact you, because if they don't contact you, the ticket still remains on like on their dashboard. Okay. So I think that if you reopen, they should contact you. If they should not, okay, if they don't do it, you can like ask me, both for you or for the mentors or for the student that you have, okay? If you have like the advisor's name and you know that the student should be contacted by an advisor and the advisor didn't contact him or her, just let me know, because we have like a file where we are like requesting like advising manager to push a little bit some advisors because they are failing, I know, like to meet or to show up in the meetings or to solve tickets, or I know, to have tickets like 1 week delay and they are not working on. So if you have situation with a specific advisor, please let me know. And if you see like closed tickets without resolution, you can reopen the ticket, okay, in the email, and they should contact. I don't guarantee anything because I don't know how advising is working, and I know that they are maybe not doing the best in some cases. But
Okay.
um,
Is that sometimes it's just not advising, it has other
yeah,
groups as
well,
well, other
advising or other
departments?
teams. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard because we don't have control over them. So I will escalate this. This is what I say every week because I just escalate to my manager, and I don't know where it goes. Like my complaint,
Yeah.
but I do my part. I just escalate the concern. Okay,
Yeah.
Felipe, then Raquel, and then let's continue. Okay, please, because we don't have time. The Felipe,
Oh, okay, perfect. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. So my question is about require actions. So I got some actions to do in my roster and says about a lot auto drop risk. And I was looking into the mentor hub about like the roster manage guide. I was looking to the date of the deadline of this, but in the roster manage guide shows like the winter semester. It doesn't show like the spring semester date. So I don't know like what's the correct
The
deadline for.
the
Okay.
the deadline, yeah, the
Yeah,
deadline was yesterday, and they like keep it open until 30 minutes more, okay, or 1 hour more from now. Okay, so for this reason,
okay.
they created some actions. So if you see some actions regarding auto drop, but you know that the students in that like in that situation in that action already sent an assignment because you already talked to them, I don't know, let's say last week, okay, but they
Yeah,
appear in the list of auto drop risk. Send me the IDs, okay, just to make sure that they are not dropped.
perfect.
Does it make sense? So if you have students that you know that they send assignments, okay, but they are appearing in the auto drop list, send me the IDs. So we make sure that they are not dropped accidentally, okay, or
Okay.
mistakenly. Raquel?
Okay, so I was reading in 1KB and it said that if the student has complaints about the program or how it should be run or anything like that, we could escalate it. And it says create a ticket and escalate it to the support escalations team. But there's nowhere we can see like there's not this option in when we are creating tickets. So where should we put this?
It's a good question, and I don't know. Could you send me this KB so I can check?
Yes. Sure.
Thank you. Stephanie, and let's move.
Yes, it's a follow-up question. Like Felipe, the RAs for auto drop, how about, because we already sent this RA last week, right? April 30th, I sent this kind of outreach, and some students already expressed like they really wanted to stop or to drop for this semester. I already documented it. I put a note that the student decided to stop. So should I send the RA
No,
or
no,
should I just put another note?
if the student already say no, it's okay. It's fine. It's just
Okay,
for those
okay.
that maybe didn't answer. So we can try again.
Even if it's past the deadline.
Because today they extended this like 12 hours.
Okay, 12 hours.
So
Okay.
for this reason, it is for do it right now after our meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Let's move to the training part. So, I don't know if you were able to read document that I have shared with you yesterday. Okay, this is something that I'm working on. But I would like to share with you some like some suggestion. It is not like mandatory, but I think that is something that could be useful for you, okay, to manage better your time. So this is what I think it would be the best in some cases to work on Monday. Okay, so it start, okay, well, starting Clockify, then mentoring hub review, 15 minutes. In this 15 minutes, you check the announcements and weekly outreach for each group. If you have PC, OD, PC 102, PC 103, 101, review deadlines, use the roster management guide to see next week deadlines in case they are related to this week outreach. It means that sometimes, for example, the Everj grant in week I think in week 0 we had like the deadline for OD, and there was no deadline for PC student for the Everj grant. Okay, so some of you were asking, okay, what is the deadline? So in that case, for this reason, I suggest to check the coming weeks, because it was like in week 2 or in week 1, I don't remember, the deadline for PC. So I suggest you, when you enter to the roster management guide and you need to know some deadlines, if they are not there in that week, check the coming weeks, okay? Probably the deadline is there. Okay, so it should not take more than 15 minutes, okay? More or less, I mean, more or less 15 minutes. So remember that you have like more or less 4 hours to work. So we are like counting those 15 minutes. Then read emails or messages for the weekend, okay? Messages that you receive during the weekend, because I guess that messages that you receive on Thursday were already answered, okay? But if you, let's say that you receive messages on Friday night or Saturday on Sunday and you didn't read them, okay, you have like 15, 30 minutes to read. Just read messages, okay? And it says in bold, don't start answering them immediately, okay? Search for common topics or similar situation between messages. It would allow you to save time when you need to find more than one info in the same KB. Okay, so let's say that you have 3 students with the same issue. You will not need to check the same KB to close the tab, to open again the tab, to see, oh, what was the KB that I have reading that has this response, okay? So if you can identify the same like situation, with several students, it will be easy for you to save time then when you are looking in the KBs. Identify potential case where you will help from me. Take notes of a student's name to work later, okay? So please take name of the student name, and maybe in a note or in a sticky note or in a, I don't know, in a book, whatever, or whatever thing that you have. And then, or you can even take note in my chat, okay? So I need help with Leonardo, with Lucas, and with, I don't know, Nicola, okay? If you have the IDs, much better, okay, at that time. Okay, so you're reading a message, and the question is this a message, email that need a response? Because sometimes the students just are saying, okay, thank you for your support. So this message doesn't need a response. Okay, so if the student needs a response, there are 2 options here. it is close to hitting the 24-hour deadline to answer within the next hour. I mean, if I'm reading this, I'm reading the message. Let's say right now is, what time is now? Okay, let's say in Argentina, right now it's 11 a.m. Okay, and the student sent me the message on, I don't know, Friday, 9 p.m. Okay, so I still have like 10 hours to hit the 24 hours response because I'm not counting on the weekend. Okay, so I have until 9 p.m. today to answer this message. So in this case, I will not do anything. Okay, but if the message was sent on 11:30, for example, on Friday, and right now I am at 11, so let's answer it right now. Does it make sense? Is clear the idea? Yeah? Okay. So if you have a couple of hours to answer without passing this 24-hour deadline, okay, let's move. Okay, if not, do nothing and keep reading other messages, emails until you finish. 4. So it should take like between 15 and 30 minutes. Let's say that you have, I don't know, if you are having like 20 answers per week, 15 answers per week, I think that no more than 5 students or 6 students are texting you on weekend. I don't think that 15 students are texting you in weekend, okay? So it should not take more than 15 or 30 minutes. Number 4, review your actions tab. Pay attention to those that are due today. Okay, so you are on Monday, check if you are like, if you have actions that are due today. 5 minutes. It's like just like a review. Okay, you can see the title, what you need to do, and when is the due date. Okay, start sending outreaches. 2 to 2 hours and a half. Okay, and what is this? First, let's focus on those weekend emails which need a response. We will like find all the information that we need to answer the student question. Okay. And okay, let's read. It's possible to send the weekly outreach along with the response to the question. If yes, do it. So we could modify the outreach to achieve the milestone of this week and also to answer a student question. Does it make sense? Questions? Okay. If not possible to put the outreach and response together, answer the student question. We will focus on outreach for this student tomorrow or later in the week, okay? And this is something that I want you to be clear with this because sometimes it looks like we are trying to give more relevancy to the outreach than to the student question, okay? So if it is possible to mix both things and make the students satisfied with the response, okay, and send the outreach, that's fine. But if we feel that it will be like, it will look like we are pushing the outreach and no matter what you're asking me, don't do it. Okay, so just answer the student question and then we can focus on the outreach later in the week. Nicola.
Yeah, that would be my question that you just answered. Sometimes, for example, I'm talking to a student, we're talking about something very different from the outreach. And instead, for that student, I count as I talk to him or her, even if I didn't send the outreach. And another point is that sometimes, for example, it becomes very difficult to send the outreach messages for all the students when we have a lot of problems to solve. Last week and this week, for example, I see that I am already with a lot of emails to answer, and sometimes are difficult situations to answer from a lot of different people. And my question is, uh, what I try to do every time until now, except for the week one. It was the week one that I put there that I didn't contact all the students, because except for week one, even with the amount of problems I had to solve from the students, I could still in the end send the outreach messages, mass outreach messages to the rest of the students. But my question is, sometimes when you have problems like this, a lot of students to solve problems, uh, is this okay that we can't send the outreach messages to those students who never answered, for example? And then should I put there that I didn't contact all the students or not? What's the point? Because sometimes it's difficult. Huh? You have a lot of students and you can't send the outreach messages to all of them at the same time.
The idea of this like guide is to have the origin sent between Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so if you have a lot of emails to answer, pay attention to the first thing that I say before. If you are next to hit like the 24 hours response. If you are not, okay, so you have time to send some outreaches and also answer the student questions. If you have, let's say six, 7, 10, I don't know how many, 10, let's say 10 emails to answer, okay? Okay, so you can go up to item 5, okay, and say, okay, let's focus first on these 10 emails. I will work on them. I will work first on those who are like closer to hit the 24 hours response. When I finish them, I will start sending outreaches. If I just have 30 minutes to send outreaches to the other students, okay, you will continue on Tuesday because you already had like the hard work on Monday. So Tuesday should be like a little bit easier, okay? So you will have more time to do the outreach. But the idea of this, it's like to separate time and to focus on the most important things, okay? I don't know if it answered your question more or less. So the idea is, I know that in Brazil there is like a flood right now, okay, in some parts, and I cannot say the student, hey, how do you feel with your success plan if I know that the student it's like suffering because this catastrophe in his country or in his city, and the student already told me this during the weekend. So it is not appropriate to do that, okay? So I need to support the student, to answer, to show my empathy because the situation he's facing. And maybe on Tuesday I can, I don't know, send the outreach. Okay. And if I feel that it's not like appropriate even on Tuesday, that's fine. I can leave a note for the evaluator explaining the reason. Okay. But please leave a note because the evaluator who lives in, I don't know, in Filipinas probably doesn't know what is happening in Brazil. Okay. So we need to remember this to give background. Adriana, questions?
Oh, I would like to share how I organize my time because I feel that I can work smoothly and I can do everything we are supposed to do. And on Mondays, I actually use it to study the mentoring hobby. I check all the emails from the weekend. I check all the actions, and then I prepare the material we're gonna work for the week. So if I can share, I can show you after. And this material helps me a lot. So on Tuesday, I have everything planned, and I only send the emails for all my students. So I have 83 students today, and I sent for them. On Wednesday, I document everyone who didn't answer me, because if they didn't answer in 24 hours, they won't answer in the rest of the week. And then I answer for those who answered me. And on Thursday, I documented this one that were, how do you say, significant ones. So Fridays, I am always nice, just finishing some things, self-evaluation. So there are two documents I use that it takes me longer on Monday to prepare, but it saves me much time in the rest of the week. So if you want, I can share.
Yeah, I mean, the idea, guys, is that you can help each other. This is just like my suggestion for you, okay, based on what I have seen, like in more cases of the team, okay? In most situations of the team and how you more or less work, I have created this guide, but you can use other ones. the idea, I mean, the goal is to have all the oranges between Monday and on Tuesday. If you do different, that's fine. It's okay with me. But I don't want to see oranges sent on Friday. Okay, because on Friday, I just want you to answer question and document the last things and review your documentation. Okay, so on Wednesday or Thursday, you should do a follow-up message, not an initial outreach. Okay, so if you can like arrange your time to make sure that you send the outreach on Monday or Tuesday, and it's different like this, that's fine. But I need you sending the outreaches on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, let's just continue. The second thing to do is to work on actions due today. Okay, first let's focus on this actions due today, and the same. It is possible to send the outreach along with completing the action requirement. Okay, let's say that it is like a new student introduction. Okay, I can do a new student introduction. I can introduce the student at the same time that I send the outreach. Okay, so I can complete the action and I can complete the outreach. Okay, if you have a different one, the same. Try to think if you can do both things, and make sure that you do both things, because sometimes we were like seeing actions being marked completed, okay, with the outreach, but you are not completing the action. Okay, just some of you are like copy pasting the outreach sent to the student in an action that is different, or it doesn't make relation with you are talking to the student. Okay, so make sure that you are completing also the action. And third, continue with all the other outreaches. If you want to see like or the original one, or if you want to modify, but let's continue with those other students that didn't answer during the weekend. Okay, or those who you need to start from zero. Okay. So it should take more or less 2 hours and a half of your time. Okay, it doesn't mean that you should send all the oranges in that time, because probably you don't have enough time. You will continue on Tuesday, but you will try to separate 2 hours or 2 hours and a half to do this task. Okay. Then the last 30 minutes to 60 minutes, document actions. No matter if the student still did not answer, document it anyway and mark it complete. Okay. Document weekend emails. Update them from the last week activity. Okay, so if the student is answering an email from last week on Sunday, don't create a new activity. Update that in last week activity. Okay, just if you are putting together the response of the student of Sunday with the outreach of Monday, because you felt that it is related and it is possible to give the student answer plus the outreach, you will create a new activity and you will put a note to the evaluator explaining the why. Okay, explaining why you're documenting a Sunday or Saturday activity on Monday. I will put in this here because the student was answering a question to last week outreach, but no, I am answering and also I'm creating or I'm sending the new outreach. Okay, it's clear? Yes, nice. Okay, then, yeah, Raquel.
I didn't quite understand. I mean, some students I had two sending new messages, like not answering anything on Saturday. And I saw this, I tried to follow this that you put on the group yesterday. And I created the two new ones and I put a note like, the student sent me this on Saturday and this is why I'm documenting on Monday. This was the note, but I didn't send yet the outreach related to that. Is it wrong? Or I should put the outreach or should I delete it and attach it to a previous?
So you send a message on Saturday, or the student sent you a message?
The student sent me a message, not
Yeah,
related to anything that I had said.
that's okay. That's okay. It's the same. It's the same. I'm documenting this. I mean, the note, it's better to have notes than not having them. Okay?
Mhm.
So if you put a note to explain whatever, that's fine. This is better than not
But
having anything.
but it is wrong to document on Monday something that started on Friday on
No,
Saturday.
it's correct. It's correct.
Okay.
But just in case, let's put a note.
Okay.
Okay? Um, okay, and then the same document we can emails, and then document all other interactions, no matter if they were answered or not. Okay, and this is important, guys. Don't wait until the student answer to document. If you have time to document, I mean, not if you have time. You should have time on Monday to document at least 30 minutes. I want you to have 30 minutes at least every Monday to document. Okay? So you need to remember two important things to do on Monday. First, to work on actions due today. Okay? Because if not, they will be late and it's a metric. The second thing, answer those emails or messages from the weekend. Because if not, they will hit the 24 hours and it will be marked orange. Okay? And then document. These are the only three things that are like mandatory to do on Monday. Because sorry, you have Tuesday to send them. Okay, you still have Tuesday to send them. But these other three are mandatory to do on Monday. Okay, at least 30 minutes documenting because I want you to have some interaction in the system. Okay, I want you to have something in the system. And also, because you don't know if maybe tomorrow or Wednesday will happen to you something. I hope that nothing happens to you. I don't know. You are sick, or you have, I know, you have a familiar, a relative in the hospital or whatever. But at least you have something documented on Monday. Okay. No matter if they were not responded. Okay. Carlos.
I have a question about the actions. Let's say that the action it was created Friday, let's say 6 p.m., something like that, and I was already off for the weekend, and I came back on Monday, and let's say that the action was already expired. In that case, for example, uh, I don't know if it's good or right to do this, or should I check probably really, really early on Monday about the actions, or it will be okay if I just answer when I'm gonna be again working on Monday. It doesn't matter if
Actions
the action already uh, passed.
doesn't expire, don't expire during the weekend. So if they were sent on Friday, at least they
Mhm.
are up to night of Monday. So you have the
Okay,
whole Monday to work on them. Okay. So
okay.
they don't expire during the weekend. And regarding the action, something else, guys, I will meet with some of you because we are like taking too much time to complete the actions. Okay, so last semester, we were like in 1 day and a half to works in the action. I mean, 1 day and a half to complete the action. This was the average of the team. And now we are like 2 days and a half to complete the actions. So it is a lot of time, especially because we are expected to take the actions in 24 hours. So we are taking a lot of time to answer them. So I will meet with some of you um, who has like a big like delay answering actions or completing actions. Raquel,
Regarding this, I said now in the chat, sometimes the actions only appear in my portal one day after they are created. For example, like Carlos said, there were some actions that were created on Friday, but they weren't on my portal. And then on Saturday, they probably appeared, but I wasn't working on Saturday, and they expire in like 2 a.m. on Monday. So I wasn't able to finish them because it was Saturday and Sunday. What I mean is, they only appear one day after they are created. They are not there. Sometimes you even send in the group that we have remaining actions, and I open my portal, they are not
You don't
there.
have, yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Well, in those cases, I need like evidence, okay, to claim. So if you see something like that, okay, hey Axel, I see that you sent that I have an action, but you can see my portal and I don't see actions here. And check out the, I know, check out the deadline. It was Monday, 2 a.m. Okay, send me screenshots. Okay, so I can like
Okay.
claim or explain the situation. Okay,
Okay.
also to improve because probably they are not aware of this. Okay, so if we have evidence to show what is the issue with the mentors and the actions, we can request some improvements on this process. Lucas?
So regarding this required action, yesterday I received an action, the auto drop action, that the due date was yesterday, 11:59, and I was lucky because I was working a little bit later than usually, and I was able to send the student the message. But the required action showed to me like uh, 5 p.m. MST. That's when I received. So it was like 8 p.m. here in Brazil.
Well,
So I was
something,
lucky that I was able to answer because I would just not able to send
yeah.
in the due
Well,
date.
it is expected to have at least 24 hours to perform the action. So in those cases, guys, the only thing that I can do, because you say that you have this situation, and I trust you, okay, because I can see this, but I don't have the evidence like to escalate the issue. So if you can take a screenshots on those cases, like maybe every morning you can take a screenshot of your actions, okay? So the next morning you see like I expired action and you say, okay, I didn't have that action yesterday. So but if I have both screenshots, like a screenshot from today and the yesterday one, so I can say, okay, this mentor didn't have that, and I can send the evidence I can escalate the evidence, okay, for improvement. Hmm? Okay, so let's finish with this. Just a reminder, do not exceed the allotted time for the day. Perform these activities until you reach the daily workload. Okay, so if you take more or less this amount of time, you will be working more or less 4 hours per day. Okay. The last one, stop Clockify, and if you had an issue with Clockify, report it as soon as possible to me. Okay. So I don't want you to having issues with Clockify on Monday and letting me know on Thursday or Friday. Okay, so if you had an issue with Clockify on Monday, I need to know on Monday or Tuesday as later. No later than Tuesday. Okay, so in 24 hours, I need to be aware that you had an issue with Clockify. Okay. Guys, this is just an idea, this is just a guide, and I will continue creating this for the rest of the week. But if you have a different um a different idea or a different agenda of how to work on that, that's fine. Okay. The only thing that I want you to do is to send the outreaches between Monday and Tuesday, because we will have Wednesdays and Thursday to send the follow-up messages to those who don't answer. Okay. And also remember the importance of documenting something on Monday. Maybe not I don't know, let's say you send 30 emails. Okay, probably not the 30 emails, but at least I know 10, 15, okay, whatever, but have some documentations on Monday. Also, pay attention to the 24 hours response. We got some oranges because this. Last semester, not answering in 24 hours was yellow, but now it's orange. Okay, so let's avoid this. Okay, pay attention to the times, to the timestamps, and also remember to work on actions. They are little things, and the key for like achieving all these times is to be focused in one thing at a time. Okay, so if you are reviewing the hub, just reviewing the hub, not reviewing and answering emails. If you are reading emails, okay, just reading emails, not answering and reading, because that time when you move from one activity to another one, going back to the first one takes a lot of time to concentrate and to focus again. Okay, so do part by part. Okay, I don't know if you have any last comment before we finish. I will stop recording.